But when you look at Genji and just their dominance, yeah, this is chat's on this one. Chat is on this one today, and I'm proud of them.
Well, we got the players all ready to go. Genji versus Furia. It's time to get into our round one match. Lemon Keep, Spaceman, take it away.
Leaf, you're so handsome. Thank you, production, as always. Welcome in to the Spring Split. It's a wonderful time to be here. I'm Spaceman, of course, joined by the one, the wonderful Lemon Kiwi. It's a fun time. Welcome into some RLCS Rocket League, Genji, and Furia. Let's kick it off.
It's going to be a time. Wow.
Okay.
That's a kickoff. Okay, yeah. This is a great start. Things are going well. Genji, not a doubt in my mind. But, Space, I know you've been influenced by Jorby. I've been influenced by Daz over on the Genji side of things. Just, some things to note on the close qualifier. Furia went to 5 against Hey Bro, lost to Optic. Those were the biggest things where Daz pointed out, and he was like, nah, Genji got this. And how can you not think so when you're up 2-0 with 8 seconds?
I mean, that kickoff does lead way to the demo, but that's just a mistake by Furia. They double commit towards the left. They play boost over ball, and okay. We got a 2-0 lead. All right, it's going to be a fun game one. But granted, both these teams having a little bit of time off. We had about a month break before we eventually get back into some RLCS action. If you're wondering how the San Diego Major went for Genji, the story really was just kind of the lack of offense. FaZe have the better of them. They kick them out 5th through 8th. And the FaZe, of course, go on to get to the grand finals with the lose to Carmine Core. But Genji, a surprising exit. I think a lot of people expected them to make at least a top 3 finish. For Furia, similar situation where this team just doesn't play up to their potential. We know how good they can be and how good they are. But a lot of the problems self-inflicted. But we'll get back into this game one with about 40 or so seconds burned here. But it's really just been all of Genji off of some mistakes from Furia.
Ooh, reset too from Chronic. I like that Genji were back passing too once Furia tried to break through the midfield, able to keep possession. Genji, don't stop applying the pressure. Yan holding on, and that's the spark plug from Furia. I think one of the most exciting players and the one that has to put the cape on. Lost over to Yan on the right side. Lost looking for bumps and making the gap to the bottom left. Yan with the first one for Furia.
This is just big pressure from Lost, right? You have the boost from Yan and a nice recenter. You got a bump in the net. Lost takes out 2, clears the lane, and Genji just don't have numbers here. I like the spread from Furia getting right back into this game. That's all set up by Lost on the goal line. And they try to find the equalizer, but they're going to have to work for one more. Nicely done by Furia.
It's looking good. For now, Card. Oops, sorry, I muted my mic. I tried to position it away, either way. Chronic and Genji. Back wall protected. Card following up with this. Jack going for boost, so Card can keep breaking things into the orange half. Space being created by Genji. Jack catches the pass. Yan challenge 50 to Noli, and Chronic patrols the midfield. This is the breakout Furia needed.
And those are big 50s you're going to want if you're a Furia fan, but you're going to need the dunk as well, forcing the challenge on the front of the box. But here comes Card. The center will be out to Lost. He's going to make this catch in transition, gives it to Yan. Slow roller, but Chronic will have no problem dishing it back out towards the corner. And this is the big counterattacks that we see from Genji often once they scoop up that 50. But Furia doing a nice job of cutting it down at the midfield and getting back into rotation. I like what we're seeing from the boys in blue, just down by 1 with 3 minutes to play.
Boys in blue. I'm just thinking of a specific team, and I'm like, I guess it's really any of the boys on the blue half.
Yeah, if they're on the blue half, it's probably going to be the boys in blue.
Then you got the orange wall, the blue wall.
Absolutely.
I know you're a fan of one-colored walls, though.
I am. Yes.
We'll see if they make it to the second round. But I see Card making their way down the field. Stopped. Kicked in the face by Noli. But Furia were able to kick off these offenses. What can they find? It took some physicality in the net for Furia to find the space as Card sets up Lost in the box next to him. He's got 2 defenders standing in his way. Still, Furia just lobbing things through, not too threatening yet, needing to connect and just bullying Chronic out of the way as Noli gets involved.
They're forcing a lot of 2 saves on the goal line there for Genji. Like the pressure from Furia early. Big clear. Lost will be the only way in back for the moment. Here comes Yan for the challenge. Chronic will meet his maker there. Yan with another, make it 2. Couldn't get the 3rd, but the 50s are good enough. And with that, maybe pressure here as Furia tried to move upfield, but apparently Jack things towards the backboard before finally, looks like for the moment, the offense will slow and Genji will have to try again.
Yeah, it's good for Card to put into the corner. Deny had the net. Close call by Chronic. As Jack makes sure that it's not centered out. It's got the reset, just drops it down, dodges Lost as Card protects their back wall. Noli up into the air, drops it low, Lost there first. And Genji forced to play a lot of defense here against Furia. Just after that first 8 seconds, we had 2 goals from Genji. Things have slowed down.
I mean, finally, you get some boost back. So canister's full for apparently Jack, but there were 2 back grabs in the corners that Furia were able to capitalize on and lost with a beautiful touch off the setup on the backboard. This was a great play downfield by Furia. It's Lost who sets this up and Card who gives it on a dish.
Just hits the top of Card's car. And Lost cleans it up. Janitor on duty, 2-2. And Furia will not be boomed. If there's something South America has is a lot of passion and a lot of heart. The way that you go down 2 goals in the first 8 seconds to tying things up with a minute left. Chronic stopped at the line. Yan has a chance to move up. Lost to his right. Overwhelmed by Genji. Taking his sweet time. And Genji won't let him think. Now Noli pinches it off the wall. Chronic at the midfield. Yan there first beats him to it. Furia applying the pressure. May be able to even take a lead. But just needing to go back for boost. Loses that momentum. But here comes the push for Furia off the back wall. Yan with the setup. It pops it up high. Trying to buy time. Maybe fake out the defense. But Furia, see if they can keep this up.
And if you're Genji, you got to prioritize boost on the defensive end. They've been starved far too often in this game 1. And it's led way to these counterattacks. Lost going to play laterally, move back to the midfield. Chronic, of course, getting the call and plays it low, but a big win by 50. By Jan, who gets the 50. That's the sentence. Noli tried to get the reset. Wasn't good enough, but here comes Chronic towards the corner. What a redirect from Noli! Wow! A beautiful play downfield. 15 seconds in the lead for Genji.
Not a great touch from the defense there of Furia. But Genji at the right place at the right time to support their team within 15 seconds. Genji are up 1 in this first best of 5 that we have on stream. If you're worried about the other matches, we got watch parties. We'll also kind of red zone our way through if this is going to be a quick one. Last couple of seconds and Furia have to move downfield. It's a fight for possession. Yan versus 2. A touch from Genji sends it down. And that's all she wrote for game 1.
I mean, this is just pressure meets pressure, and Genji's probably going to win this battle. It's just a doggy bag goal for the road. But you see what happens when Genji have boost upfield. They're going to push it back and force those 50s close on the goal line. And lucky enough, you have players like Abjack, Chronic, and Noli on your team, and you're probably going to be pretty successful as Genji will take the opening game here in our best of 5. A lot of presence, a lot of positives for Furia, but in the end, just could not win some of those counterattacks. And Genji, very good within the numbers, that spacing that they create for one another. Some of the best in North America, obviously major champions for a reason. And here's your stat card to break it down. It was a pretty good showing from Genji across the board. Nobody having a slow start as we look at our Mobile 1 high performance replay. It kind of started off with a couple of opening goals that shouldn't have happened for Furia. They worked from the deficit. But after that, Lemon Kiwi, it just seemed like Furia were able to respond. Genji weather the storm and they get back into it.
Great syncing from Furia. Welcome back, Leaf.
Hi.
Is what to be expected, Leaf. How are the other matches going?
Some of them going as expected as well. I mean, in their game 1, FaZe Clan, of course, taking down Hey Bro. They'll be continuing on in their second game. Space Station taking down M80. Looks like game 2, they're also taking them down. I wanted M80 to do a bit better. I'm keeping an eye on that Optic Koi game for you guys as well. It was game 1 going to Optic. Koi now, though, in game 2 is up 3-0, so that should be a close series. And I don't know if NRG fans want me to give the stats on this one, but game 1 went to Dignitas, and game 2, Dignitas is winning again. So, just saying.
So NRG continues is what you're saying. And Dignitas is, again, one of the, also in the conversation of potentially making a run through the spring split. Could they get to top 6 potential? Sure. Is it going to happen? We don't know. That's why we play the games. But here we go. Into Forbidden Temple for game number 2. If you're just joining us, welcome in to the start of the spring split. It's been a fun one so far. Genji taking the opening game in our best of 5, down 0-1. We'll see how Furia can respond. Lemon Kiwi, it really was the counterattack for Genji and how quickly they were finding each other through the space that kind of gave them that game 1 win.
Even just the initial attack right out the gates. We had 8 seconds, 2 goals. But Furia, you talked about the spacing, the physicality. Lost bumping people. Nice. Card, the bump read by Jack. Lost, maybe wanting to connect with Card, just like how they passed to each other and were able to read the bounce off the back wall. That was the second goal for Furia. And just right off the kickoff, we've been in the orange end for a solid minute, and Genji don't look like they have a clear in sight. Chronic to the ceiling. Card second touch from Chronic gets this away from Card as Lost just lobs it in, looking to connect with someone in the box. Double commit from Genji, trying to make the space.
And this is just good presence and patience here from Genji. They're clogging the lanes. They're forcing Furia to take these ISO chows with possession, and they're finding the boost in the back end to help them find these clears. Genji doing a phenomenal job of clearing out their own side of the field, and now they can just try to stretch it and fly in onto the play. Noli will get the call, sends it to Appjack, but it's a little bit too off on the touch. Chronic with the pop and Card with the 50. So here comes Genji through the corner again. Another one off the backboard, follow up, take it away. Yan slowing it down.
Noli, Jack onto the pass. Good awareness from Furia, cleared by Lost, and he's following up. He's got the boost to do so. Jack making sure it's not easy for Furia. Low on boost, though, is Furia, who are now getting demoed as Genji take advantage of this moment, but you thought they could when Furia were down bad, but it's Genji just keeping possession.
We're looking at one shot for Appjack, none for Noli, but Noli is upfield. I thought for a moment he'd get my awkward touch on the left wheel. Try to scream it around the net. That's a great shot from Yan in the elbow. Perfect setup from the mid-range with a lot of time on the clock, but here comes Furia.
Here comes Furia. They spent a minute in the start of this game pounding this net. And it was a Genji defense, some counterattacks trying to drain the boost from Furia. But Genji not owning the field like they had the boost, but hey, demoing them like they do. Noli looking for the redirect. Yan still saves it at the goal line. Jack shot a little wide. And Yan, now here comes the counterattack.
Nolly's back. He has the back wall read. Nicely done as well. He got a bit of a hunt on the right side of the field. Card tried to take it away. 2 up for Furia, and they will find the clear. Now it's a foot race to the corner. Nolly going to cut it down. Gives it to Appjack on the back flip, but Lost will try to be there for the interception. And with that, again, we see these ISO chows from Furia that have cut down these counterattacks, but yet, with more time to boot, you are looking at Genji to create some infield space like they do so often. Looking at those boost meters for the moment, Furia should have enough to be able to find this clear.
Genji still looking for the first one after they struck early and struck hard, and they're only bleeding and hemorrhaging more as Furia up 2.
Bates 1, around 2. Beautiful setup from Yan and the finishing from Lost. That's the Furia you've come to expect. That's what they have been working for the start of this game. Furia up 2-0 as Genji will try to find the opening goal for them here in this game, up 1-0 in the series. A nice response from Furia. Keeping it low, Bates 1, Card being a nuisance upfield. Here comes Lost, trying to bully through and make it a 1v3, but a recenter from Card just makes the Furia offense that much more dangerous.
All 3 of Furia involved in this play. I love the cycling, but Yan gets out of boost. Card waits for how Noli's gonna drop this. He runs out as well. Furia keep that midfield presence. They bring it back for more. Bumping Chronic out of the way, and Yan still gets it in. 3-0 Furia.
It's going to be tough. You watch Genji's defense here. They're tracking. They're trying to follow up with Lost. Chronic makes it difficult, but Appjack goes up for the stall. The hand gets pushed away, and Yan punches it through. Nicely done by Furia, putting pressure right on the goal line when Genji don't have boost.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Jack, right off the kickoff? No, Lost has learned his lesson from game 1. Side of the car, baits out the defense, and there's Yan, wanted the second touch, block after block. Genji, hold on. But how do Furia want to keep them trapped in? They're just going to have to fall back. Noli to the right, saved by Lost.
There haven't been a lot of clean catches at the midfield for Genji. Furia are getting numbers up to contest and winning these interceptions. The redirect there from Yan into the corner. Genji just trying to poke the ball free, and they will do so, but they give it right back into Furia's possession. We'll find the catch from Lost, already on the pre-jump. Holds it, reset, can't dunk, but leaves enough upfield for Furia to work with, and corkscrewing his way into the goal line. Yan tried to make more than what was possible before Card wins another one off the ceiling. This is what we're talking about, making the lanes more difficult for Genji to move, but that bump was scary. Here comes the defense.
A Jack bump was intense. 39 seconds, though. We haven't seen anything from Genji despite the 4-2 victory in game 1. Jack didn't even receive that pass. Yan forces the 50. Furia on top of the ball first. 30 seconds left. Lost the sauce. 3-on-2 for Genji. The counterattack is there. Card buys time. It's about to bounce in front of the net. Only too wide to the right post.
Confidence challenges here from Furia. Constantly having a number up. Maybe one for the road, but with time dwindling away, this one's gonna be done. We got ourselves a tie series, folks. Furia, nice recovery and response here on Forbidden Temple to notch this one up at 1 apiece. And Genji threw all they could on the other side, but it was just too much and too often. Overwhelming offense from Furia as they find themselves their first game in this best of 5.
And a shutout against Genji. But we all knew this wasn't going to be a sweep. Furia got that dog and look at the shots, 13 of them. Furia held Genji at bay for what, a minute or two right out the gates.
Yeah.
And of course, they converted on that opportunity. Yan almost a hat trick. He's a star in this game.
13-9 here in shot counts for Furia versus Genji, but it also means that while this one's going on, of course, other games are happening as well. We got more series. Leaf, I know you got eyeballs everywhere.
Want?
You only got 2 of them. Why? Tell me.
I got 4 today. Yeah, we're looking at potential 3-0s in this round 1. Kind of expected. Okay. I mean, FaZe Clan over Hey Bro, Space Station over M80, Complexity over 0-1, version 1. Even though Shopify kept them to overtime in game 1, that was actually pretty close. You expect that roster to just stomp. But yeah, potential 3-0 now for version 1. They're on match point. G2 as well over Sup. Optic and Koi now 1-1 in their series. Dignitas and NRG also 1-1 in their series.
I mean, so you're saying it's going to be a little bit of a fast day, but also some could get interesting, which is why we have a 1-1 series on our hands here, Leaf, because we want to give the fans something to watch and not just speed run through this. But I like that. Look, we're back to standard Rocket League. It's always going to be weird on day 1s. You just got to escape to the weekend. That's where things get really interesting. Of course, best of 7's coming up, but all for today, best of 5s. Back into it, into game 3, a tied series 1-1. Lemon Kiwi, it seems like Genji have been struggling on the offensive side of the ball, but it's really been the defense at midfield from Furia constantly taking away opportunities that have stood out so far in this series for me.
I think the Genji offense potential was there. Apparently Jack, I mean, the chat has all kinds of names that I'm learning about. Apparently Jack, apparently Cracked, apparently all kinds of stuff. So depends how he's performing on the day. But speaking of Jack, I think that offense potential was there. He's even bumping people into the net in game 2. Wasn't able to actually cross the goal line. Yan even had to make some miraculous defensive saves there. Every pass from Genji, the 50 forced by Furia. It's been tough for Genji to crack that egg as it goes all the way down. Noli forces his head against Lost. Jack up and above. Chronic in the midfield, not stepping up yet. This drops to Furia. Probably Jack ran out of boost.
I saw a leave off from Furia as that pass went right over towards the back wall. Genji tried to set up potential swing, didn't really have numbers up, but I did like the call anyways. Chronic will give it to Noli. Great pass on the infield. Plays it sharply. Awkward touch from Card. He got 2 on the backboard committing for Furia, and they missed 1. The pitch down. This should be Furia's ball. Somebody get up there, they will, for the challenge, but Chronic tried to circle back in and keep the offense alive before eventually Card does poke it free. And now we check it into the corner. So we'll see what Genji can do, as the pressure is always going to be upfield for Furia. Genji, if they're recognizing it, trying to spread the defense laterally and pull them off their placings, and with there, you're probably finding some space.
Chronic waits for his moment. I want to see him get more involved. I want to see the aggression from that guy. And at least defensively, he's alive and well. Card gets overwhelmed. Now Yan involved, and that's the aggression I think favored Furia in game 2. Hence why they shut out Genji, but I think it's because they kept them in their own orange half for so long. As Lost bumps Jack out of the way, everyone committing to this ball as the 50 favors Genji out of the net.
You can start to scramble when you're chasing off the backboard, and you're really hoping that that demo or bump leads way to an opportunity. Even here, more presence, more numbers up for Furia. You got Noli in the opposite wing. He will, of course, grab a canister to allow this challenge to ensue, and Yan's going to fall out of the play. But here comes Card, and let alone Genji with the chow. Noli leaves off, gives it to Jack. I like the call. Anybody else on the infield? Yes, potentially. Chronic, low to the corner. And what did Genji like to do here?
Go off the ceiling to Jack. Card bumps it up. Noli's not done yet. Reset available. Lost challenges. What a great clear for Furia.
That's a big one as well. You just want to clear the box, give yourself some time to breathe, because you already have Lost overextending. But you got Noli off the back wall, looking for the double tap, won't be there. Resources here for Furia. They should have no problem trying to clear this to Yan. They'll do so, and he escapes free. Nicely done by Furia.
Oh, Yan centering out the ball. What? Another defensive challenge from Noli, but you're not out of the woods if you're Genji. The net pressured. Furia want more. I mean, they're at 0. They need everything they can get. So does Genji, who got shut out in game 2, and game 3 is not progressing any differently.
Oh,
as Card is asleep.
I think he got caught right on this challenge. It just came in too quickly. Huge 50 from Noli, and Card could not flip back in time. There's no shot. That's just a nice heads-up play and awareness, really, from Genji. And that's what they'll bring you time and time again. When you're starting to get kind of that mid-weight fight at midfield, when it's a tug of war, essentially, that's where Genji are at their most dangerous. They can just pull up from a shot or win a big 50. They clears lane and gives them an opportunity. A 1-0 lead for Genji. An unexpected presence for Furia. Now, how do they respond?
I'm gonna say Noli is probably becoming one of my favorite players on Genji. The way that the defensive plays, the offensive plays, and how he syncs up with Jack. Now they're both dead. This is why I don't talk about anyone. So Furia with the double demo, keeping the orange half theirs. Going through the left side, Yan a bit too far forward. Card misses that too. It's like Genji wait for their moment to punish that. Yan can't cut through. Card in the midfield, 50 by Noli. Genji still can't break out and low on boost. Noli grabs 100, tries to make space, but so far, Genji wasting time is actually favoring them.
There's been a few times where they've cut into the lane and Genji have been ready for that pass, but a great flick from Chronic finishes what he started, and that's the danger of overextending. If you're Furia, you lose a 50 and you give it to Chronic on a 1v1, you have to track with this ball, and you're not going to beat this kid. It's not going to happen. A 2-0 lead. Genji, my goodness.
After how long Furia worked, Genji get a counterattack and execute immediately?
Yep.
That's why Genji are just that good. Chronic gets a demo, 3-on-2 off the kickoff for Genji. Noli and Jack get crossed up there. At least they back each other up as Card is not being stopped, brings it to the corner. Jack makes sure he gets the corner boost. How does this get tipped over? Chronic not letting this get centered out. Lost bumps him up the ball, but Noli won't be stopped.
Great
Genji
pop.
looking
Huge
for
pop.
the third one. Noli pushes Card out of the way, but Yan saves the day.
2 in a row. You don't see that too often just on positioning alone, but somebody get a pulse check on Jorby with under 10 to play. The dude's going through it. Furia need a goal. They need it now. Card tried, but the slap down from Appjack. And that'll be the dagger here in game number 3, a 2-1 series lead to boot. My goodness, GG's all around. Genji, a commanding win here in game 3 and a 2-1 edge as they look to essentially put this series away. But Furia, a lot of positives. Just getting bullied at the midfield and losing some of those important challenges.
Oh, the offense was definitely there from Furia, but Genji read it well. Furia just going through that left side, stop after the left post. Not a lot of utilization of the back wall like they did in game 1. It was a lot of syncing up from Card there. This will bring back Leaf. I know he wants to be on break so bad. But how are the other games going? I really want to know about the Koi Optic one, too.
There ain't no break on day ones. You don't stop.
She wants me to be sad is what she wants. She wants me to be just down because of the Koi Optic series. She knows.
Yeah, do you want me to tell you you're watching this one as well?
I want you to tell me.
Okay, I'll tell everyone. Okay, right now, well, Optic Gaming's at match point.
Oh, okay.
So it's 2-1.
There you go.
It's 1-1 in game. It's 4, so it's not too bad. You're not that sad. Version 1 did wrap up their 3-0. Complexity wrapped up their 3-0 as well.
Sure.
Space Station and FaZe also wrapping up their 3-0s.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have G2 dropping 1 to Sup while they were on match point. So that is now not a 3-0. And we have Dignitas and NRG going at it with NRG at match point. So NRG fans, don't let go of that held breath yet. Keep holding it, but it's closer. You can breathe out soon, maybe.
Look, a win is a win for NRG, but also, I mean, Corelli's already off to a hot start today, predicted FaZe in the opening series. Well done. Big brain from Corelli. Nicely done. There we go. Let's get into Coliseum. It's going to be a fun one because Genji, again, also on series point to jog your memory real quick. And Chronic trying to reset around 2 and gives Genji a very hot start into this game 4. But it's been up to Furia. The midfield pressure really hasn't been there. They've been testing, but haven't been finding possessions, and that's where they need to turn things around.
Genji on match point. Jorby maybe just going through the game 2 replays as much as he can because
absolutely.
The aggression that Furia brought out right off the kickoff, I think, was that momentum pusher for them. And wow, Noli, I don't even know if he touched that. All I care about is Genji up 1-0.
I mean, all you care about if you're Genji is that you're up 1-0 as well. Noli just gets a little touch off the back right wheel. Just the softest, a little cottonelle touch, like we have to call it. I mean, that's all you need. The redirect's good. 2 collapsing in the back of the net. Furia can't get a hand up, but Genji have a lead yet again.
You know, the big letters on the screen telling me Noli scored should have been indicative of the cottonelle touch.
You know, the cottonelle touch, a little soft, you know? It's not a thing. I've made it up on the spot. It doesn't exist. But, you know, just gotta rock with it sometimes.
Oh, Nolly rocking it with it again. Challenge, though, the 50. Furia reading these plays better. Chronic stop before the back wall. Good protection from Furia. How's their counterattack look?
Ooh.
Card misses the pass, and it's a clear from Genji.
I mean, that redirect and the takeaway from Genji is so important on the point of contact on that offensive third for Furia. It's a huge clear that sets up Chronic on his lone, and if you're asking him to win a 1v1, he's probably going to do it. You're going to get into AppJack on a dime. Beautifully set up downfield. This is where Genji are at their strongest, when they're in their counterattacks, when they have space to work with as well. One of the best in the world. A 2-0 lead to boot. For Furia, not even about slowing the bleeding, because it's not like they haven't been present in this game. The defense is going to do what they do, but you need to stop letting Genji get 3 touches when you're setting up offense downfield.
Kind of liked how Furia acted, but I like how Genji counteract or react more as the pressure is there. You even demoed Yan. It's a 3-on-2. Genji keeping them stuffed, taking their boost too. Yan removed for a second time. Noli to Chronic, trying to cross this in front of the net. Lost, contesting this well. Jack in the midfield brings it back. Genji slowly running out of boost, but stealing Furia's, and that's how you keep them stuck. Up 2-0, double commit, saved by Furia.
And you need clears here because you're going to constantly double commit if you don't have the boost to get this ball out. And that's what Genji are doing really well. They took a page out of Furia's playbook from game 1. Furia were stealing boost, but that pitch is gross. Are you kidding? What is this counterattack from Yan?
Yan said, demo me one more time. I swear to Bob, I will make you pay for it. 2-1. Yan, that's why you can't take him off the field. His presence, his impact is known, and off the kickoff, Noli ready. Send it right back. Now he tries to bump it. Maybe he even got the steal. No, he missed the steal. Chronic against Yan, trying to center this ball out. The defense from Furia reinvigorated as Jack pinches it in, and Genji up by 2.
Well, that's one way to get back into it, right off of a beautiful read from Yan. AppJack plays it perfectly. Stabilizes with the boost, gets back down quickly, makes that read, follows the trajectory of the pass. Okay, Genji, I see what you're putting down, and we're picking it up. Chronic off the kickoff, deletes card. Advantage and power play here for Genji.
A lot of physicality from Genji to just keep Furia in their place, but they're alive and well. Card up to the ceiling. Reset available up to the back wall, contested by Genji. Back and forth. Back pass to Yan, to Card, to the front. It's soft, it's lobbed, and Jack reads it like a book. How do you make the space? 2 of Furia stand in that left lane. And speaking of 2, Furia need 2 in this second half.
2-goal lead. 148 to play. AppJack, huge clear to Chronic. He should be there, but no, I thought Lost might get a hand up. Doesn't even matter. 4-1. Genji punishing downfield.
Jack has been that setup guy in multiple occasions, even in the shutout game in game 2. Where Genji didn't get anything done, Jack was there. He's always making a play, but Furia's defense were one step ahead in that, and now they're one step behind. 4-1 and match point for Genji, and this is too wide with the open net. Furia, precision was an issue in the tournaments that led before this. They came out swinging out the gates. How do they clean this up, though? It's Lost versus Jack. Genji get out.
I mean, that is, granted, maybe not the easiest shot in the world, but one you need to get back, a placement problem that has been plaguing Furia. We'll wait to see if this one continues, because as of now, that 3-goal lead is held, and it is held for a very, very overwhelming amount of time if you're Furia. Through the corner. You got Noli in midfield. Yan stabilizing. He's going to lose out in the boost game, but wins on the 50 regardless. AppJack will just play it low. And Nolly gets the clear. Everyone commits up. You can't blame him. Furia have to press. But that is just a brutal way to go downfield. Every time you're thinking Furia's making progress, right? Whether it's a goal or a good push offensively, it's just an immediate counterattack from Genji that essentially kills what was all of good progress. 30-ish seconds to play here. Furia need to find a goal, and they need it now.
And Card and Yan being able to still make plays, but less than 10 boost when Genji were on the counterattack, which we all know how scary that is. Good to see that this is only 4-1. But with 30 seconds remaining, you got an open net, and Jack doesn't miss those. 5-1 Genji.
That's the nail in the coffin so far for this series. A 3-1 win it will be here in Game 4. The 5-1 scoreline might be the only one that matters here. Genji, dominant control after that Game 1. And I'm being told that NRG won their series. So that means the curse has been lifted and the dynasty's cemented. NRG are back, baby. We're going to champ. Well, I don't know about that. 17 seconds to go. Furia, a really good fight in this one, but just the adjustments made at the midfield and the pressure from the offense too much as Genji will close it out.
Even Yan can't shoot from in the box. The defender's just in the way. It's 1 goal for Furia in the past 2 games. It's a tough one to see. Genji be taking the series pretty decisively, but we like the spirit that Furia bring and definitely made Genji sweat at some moments.
Absolutely did. I think that's actually a great way to put it, is they made Furia sweat, and Furia did the same on the opposite end. But when it comes to those micro adjustments, you see it here. I mean, everybody getting involved. Just ridiculous production from all members as your Mobile One high performance